times, but you know, yoga is really just repetition. So if you've ever been in a cross-cut log sawing contest and won, I don't want to brag, but that's true, at a very small, like, you know, country day fair, whatever, you actually pull the saw towards you, and then your partner pulls the saw back, and you just let your hand go back, and then you pull the saw towards you and they pull it back, and you pull the saw towards you. When you're sawing by yourself and you have one of those, like, it's almost like a triangle with a blunt end, you're pushing and pulling, pushing and pulling, pushing and pulling, pushing and pulling. And when you're sawing by yourself, most of the force, so our homework, if you want any homework, is get 2 types of saws, 1 extra person, and have fun sawing something that's already dead. So usually it's a push, pull, push, pull. But when you're on a crosscut saw, it's a pull, then they pull you, pull, then they pull you, pull, then anyway. So that's where the force comes from. So Bhastrika, the force comes on the inhale. And it seems like no matter what I do, the inhale still, there's an ant trying to learn yoga, and I keep flicking it away. Anyway, the inhale is the important piece of Bhastrika, and it's still not going to quite sound like the exhale just because of the way our heads are built. So here's my Bhastrika. I'm going to inhale, which fools everyone, but here it goes. Because I do Ujjayi Pranayama all the time, that nice, loud, audible, even exhale is pretty automatic. And the inhale is where my attention is, and it's where the force is. So we'll take like 30 breaths in Bhastrika for the first round. Everything from your belly button to your tailbone, it should be holding still. So I like to put my hands here. Inhale and begin. Release and let go. Does anyone have any questions about that before we do it one more time?
I'm having a hard time getting the force on the inhale because my lungs are already full.
Yeah. Don't start with an inhale. Start from the middle of your breath or start on an exhale. For whatever reason, when we do long form pranayama, it's a full inhale and then you start. And I have to go like this. I have to let the pressure off before I get to it. It probably takes me a good 10 breaths before I can get where I'm working evenly.
Okay.
So really good observation. Yes, this time we'll do 50 breaths. So start any way you want. And then exhale, let go. I just opened my eyes and the screen has changed, so I'm really big. So that was surprising. Okay, and then this next time, you're gonna do it. Does anyone want to say anything? Or did that work out, Gina?
That made a big difference. I felt like I could keep going and going.
Okay,
That was
perfect.
really helpful. Just the idea that you're emphasizing the inhale, or that's where the effort is. Yeah.
Great. Claire, did you have something?
I feel like it's a totally different exercise doing it that way. Emphasizing because before, like 3/4 of my energy was going into exhaling, and just inhaling was just happening passively, kind of like
You
with
fixed it.
shining. And now I'm doing a different thing. So yeah.
Maura, you fixed it.
Yeah.
Nice.
You did.
No, you did. Claire, what's up with you, Claire?
I am like I started in the middle of the exhale this time. It really it almost feels like I'm hyperventilating, or like when you're running and you're getting a stitch in your side. Like I'm having trouble with focusing the energy on the inhale, just like in how it feels as well.
I wonder if that has to do with speed.
I used to have that exact experience
Oh,
until
good.
I increased the tempo just a little bit for myself, and then it went away. So I think you're right. I think it does have something to do with the speed. It did for me. It might for other people.
Perfect. That's a good
Little
idea. We'll try it again. I didn't know which way to go on the speed, so Isaac, that was crucial. Cool. Okay, let's try it again. We'll take 30 again, and then, no, let's take 50. We'll take 50 again, and then we'll do one more set where we possibly take 100. So begin when you're ready. Nice. I definitely feel like the more I do Bastrika, the more energy I get. Like the first one, I'm like, oh, that's something to do. And the second one, I'm like, that's pretty good. And the third one, I'm like, oh, I wouldn't need to drink coffee if I drank coffee. I could just do Bastrika. Anyone else want to say anything before we move on? Gina?
Well, part of what I'm wondering about is if it's easier because I haven't done 20 minutes of pranayama. So it's possible that it's, although we did just practice yoga and I had a very good practice. It was not a lazy practice. So I don't know, maybe that's not it. I'm going to have to go in about 2 minutes. So
Okay,
I'll
let's
stay
do
for
it.
the next round. And then
I love you. Perfect. Have a great day. Okay, so 100 if you want to do 100. Nice. Nice. All right. Let's talk about that. Anyone who wants to speak, go ahead. Carolyn.
Yeah, I have to actively force myself to inhale with force and exhale with kind of effortlessness. So it's opposite for me, and I can't get, but I think I've always been doing it wrong. So today's probably the first day that I'm doing the opposite. But I found that it kind of made my heart race a lot, almost like if you're having anxiety. I don't know if anyone's ever experienced that, but or maybe I'm not breathing deeply. I'm not sure.
No. You're like, I would say it made your heart race a little bit more like you just ran up a set of stairs. You know what I mean? I don't know
Yeah.
the whole anxiety, heart racing thing, unless it's me being in survival mode and I'm like running from a bull or something. So I haven't had to do that in a long, long time, but I'm just saying. So yeah, you're taking control of what normally happens automatically, just like you take control of Mula Bandha and Ujjayi pranayama. And this is similar to what you do when you're moving quickly. So yeah,
That makes sense.
I would say that's normal and it'll go away. And most people aren't doing 100 Bhastrika the first time they start to really get the hang of it.
I have had like a panic feeling before when I first started sorting out where my breath was going between in and out. Like if this is in and this is out, your needle is sometimes leaning heavier to in, and it's leaning, when it leans heavier to out, it's like you're not getting enough air, but you're still breathing. And so it kind of causes a panic feeling. And so you start tipping the needle towards inhale more. And then over 100, it probably went back and forth like 4 or 5 times before it starts to feel like it's in the middle.
Nice, Isaac. Nice metaphor, dude.
I just know that panic feeling, and it's usually because my needle is pointed towards exhale too much.
Yeah.
Like more, and you're not getting it. It can be kind of panicky.
Yeah. Claire.
I think you can get the same thing as well if you're tipped too heavily towards inhale, because that's kind of what happens when you're hyperventilating is you're getting rid of too much carbon dioxide that's in your lungs. And so it's like all oxygen, and that is also like a panic feeling. So I think if you're too far in either direction, it can really cause that. But I did find that taking a full inhale and then a full exhale and starting on the exhale, I had a much better experience the last 2 rounds.
Look, we're totally sorting it out. This is one of the toughest pranayamas. And the reason I think it's tough is because our mind doesn't recognize it as being tough. It's like, oh, I'm not fiddling with my nostrils. I'm not holding my breath. I can totally do this, no problem. So our expectations are that it's going to be pretty normal. I think that our expectations when we're doing long Richaka Kumbhaka exhale holds or long Paraka Kumbhakas inhale holds, I think our mental expectation is like, whoa, this could be a little weird. And on Bhastrika, I just think it's a surprise. But I also actually believe that Bhastrika is one of the most powerful pranayamas.
Can I say that it was, well, if you've done Kapalabhati, you know that you use the diaphragm to put the exhale out, where in this, it's like you use the lungs, just center. That's what I was doing. Just use the lungs. Don't get caught up in what's going on everywhere else. It's about the lungs, because when you take the exhale, you fill the lungs naturally. And then when you inhale, and then when you exhale, if you exhale all the way out, you have to use the diaphragm to empty the lungs completely. So it's just not using that and letting the exhale happen naturally. And it's opposite on Kapalabhati. So just focus on the lungs. That's what I was doing. And let the lungs do the work, because that's what it's all about, right?
Bhastrika, lungs. Yeah. Yeah.
For Carolyn, With Rachaka Kumbhaka and Paraka Kumbhaka, do you find it that it's easier to hold the exhale or easier to hold the inhale or the same?
That's interesting. I think it's about the same, but naturally for most people, the inhale is easier to hold. But if I really have Mula Bandha on, then exhale and inhale are the same.
I was curious because I usually find the full breath harder to hold, like the empty your lungs and hold it, I feel like I can hold forever, but like with the filled lungs, I find it harder. So I was wondering if you had the same experience since you were kind of feeling that like hyperventilating panic feeling from doing more focus on the inhale.
I think the Vastrika today, it's just because I'm actively trying to switch what comes natural. That's probably what's making it. I mean, I wasn't having a panic. It was just feeling like I'm fighting the natural rhythm or something. So
Yeah.
I'm sure it could get smoother with time.
It will. It just will. All of it does. There's things that are so smooth. I did them once and I was like, I'm never doing this again. That's smoothed out. And then the things that I keep practicing, they actually do smooth out on their own. Nice. Emelina, did you have anything to say?
Yeah, you like read my mind sometimes. I was just gonna jump in. You can hear me, right? I just want to make sure it's muted.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. So with Vastrika, the inhale and the exhale are equal, right?
Ideally, they take the same amount of rhythm. Because if you're doing a crosscut saw, you pull, they pull. You pull, they pull. You pull, they pull. So yes, they're equal.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to double check. And then the other thing I'm thinking with what everyone's saying is because Kundalini does so much of it, breath of fire, which they say is not Vastrika, but I think it is essentially. And
you know what? I think it's actually Kapalabhati, but whatever.
the breaths are equal, but regardless, like the more breathing like pranayama you do, I'm trying to think of how to explain this. There's kind of a tolerance point that I've noticed where if you're just starting something new, it starts to expand the prana. And it can get really uncomfortable to the point where your body can be like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. I'm not breathing enough, because it's trying to like move past that zone of discomfort to get more prana. So in that like in between point it can feel panicky. I think is what I'm trying to say.
And also it's definitely like sometimes I go out for a run when I haven't run in a long time, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I could only make it a quarter of the way around the block. And then other times I'll go out for a run, I haven't run in a long time, and I can go all the way around the block like I ran the day before, but I didn't. And so we do build up an endurance level the more we do something.
Yeah, exactly. Endurance, that's the word I could have used.
No, but prana is what we're working with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so ethereal that I just wanted to mention endurance. That's all.
Perfect. That was the word I would have used had I thought of it. Awesome.
I also feel like for me, it was about coordination. Like it just took me a while to figure out how to keep my belly still and move my rib cage in and out. It took a long time, and then I started to get it, and then I went backwards, and then I don't know.
Nice. Nice. Okay, so let's do one more round of Vastrika, and you can do, you just kind of pick something that you're going to let your mind go to. So you're either going to do 30 or 50 or 100, totally up to you. Mula Bandha's on. Talk to me, Claire.
I was just going to ask if either, it could be before or after this, if you could talk about the difference between Vastrika and Kapalabhati.
Yeah, I'd love to. After this one. Start whenever you want. I wonder how that's working out for Taylor with her coffee experience earlier. All right, it looks like everyone's finished. So Bhastrika, you're really focused on the inhale, and Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha are on, the lungs open, the rib cage flares open, and it's Kapalabhati is like, my metaphor for it is, I have not done this, but you know those little punching bags where people practice their hand moves and they punch and it's like da 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 because it's bouncing and it's like super fast and totally confusing, and I should try it sometime. So Kapalabhati is this. It's the exhale is passive. The inhale is passive, sorry. The inhale is passive, the exhale is active. So I punch, 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 punch my exhale. And on Bhastrika, it's inhale, 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 inhale. And so like Amy was saying, she's thinking about her diaphragm on Kapalabhati, and she's thinking about her lungs on Bhastrika. So I'll scoot a little closer. I'll see if you can hear the difference. Here's Bhastrika. And here's Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati, for some reason, can also be a little bit faster than Bhastrika. My Bhastrika has never been as fast as Kapalabhati. Yeah. Is that good? Good enough?
Are you supposed to, with Bhastrika, are you supposed to strive to get the inhale and exhale equal in length, or just focus on inhale?
They are supposed to be equal in length.
Okay.
But if you need to only focus on the inhale and deal with the exhale later, do that. Yeah, and on Kapalabhati, they're not equal. Good observation. Claire, what were you going to tell me?
Just that I think I learned Kapalabhati first, and so I think that's probably why Bhastrika is hard.
Yes. And most people learn Kapalabhati first. Yeah. What I love about Bhastrika is that it is exactly like Ujjayi. Working Bhastrika has made my Ujjayi pranayama better because it is a focus on the inhale, and both the inhale and exhale are equal. So Bhastrika is like a fast Ujjayi.
Kathy, if you were to try and break these down to practice them, I'm thinking about pranayama, and when I tried that at nighttime with Janu Shirshasana, it was relaxing and opening. And Bhastrika, if it's meant to kind of help the prana, help Ujjayi, can you try Bhastrika before you start your practice? Because I feel like Bhastrika at night would just like not work.
It would keep you awake possibly.
Yeah.
I really feel like when I want to work on something, when I'm like, I'm going to get handstand or I'm going to get Bhastrika, I'll do it when it's most convenient for me, because I'm not living in an ashram where somebody rings a bell at 4 a.m. and then there's this rigid sequence of events. So when I was working on handstand, I would do handstand off and on anywhere, any hour of the day. So yeah, you can definitely work on Bhastrika. Actually, Carolyn, if you do a little bit of Bhastrika before you start doing Ujjayi, I think you'll notice that your Ujjayi has more like, I don't have a word for it, but it's almost like it'll be more powerful. because it's already warmed up. So that could be fun. Yeah, try it. Do the experiment and then let us know. Cool.
Yeah, I will. I will.
Cool. Okay, any last things about Bastrika? Tomorrow we can work on the Richaka Kumbhaka in Janushirasana A or B. And that will also, Claire, that might also get into the front side of your lower spine. It's pretty good. It's like internal alignment happening from that pranayama. So that's the one we'll do tomorrow. And you guys want to work on hand mudras? Couple minutes of hand mudras. I have the big screen still, so I can't see Isaac smiling, but I'm sure he is.
Kathy, is it still, sorry, that was my fault. Is it still big screen?
It is. It's fine though.
Maybe
You're on it.
I wonder, how do I, now is it regular? Is it making everyone see what I see?
I got it.
Okay.
Now it's regular. But I thought the big screen was fun.
So if I go back to that, does it switch it for you or no?
It didn't this time.
Great. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so we're doing the opening hand mudras for meditation. And the first one is, yep, fingers together, elbows are kind of up. Beautiful. And these all have Sanskrit names, which I never memorized. This one's called Sumukam. And then Samputam, which means bud. Vitayam, which means bloom. Vishtritram, which means expansion. Okay, so here's the first one. Sorry, I was looking at the book. There's 3 of those. Boom, boom. Sorry, that's the bud. Open, open. Pinky, ring, middle, first. Swirl under. Pinkies come out. I can't look at the book. Here we go. Dwelling in the self, I'm going to do it this way. Dwelling in the self, I am a seed. Pulled toward the world, expanding, I separate from thee and experience the various aspects of life. Now I withdraw my mind, your pinkies open there, from the flow of the world and offer myself to thee so that you will flow through me. Yeah. Revealing the realities of birth and death and the bondage of Maya. Left hand on top. I empty myself to be filled by thee. I relinquish the world. You got it. I just push down and take refuge in thee. You guide the way, giving support. I'll show it to you, Isaac. It's left hand is in a water pistol, right hand is in I love you. The pinky goes to the tip of the water pistol. The first finger on your right hand goes to your left thumb. Yep. And then the knuckles sit down on top of each other. Yes. And then your right thumb touches your left wrist. And this is supposed to be like the foundation of a house that's strong. Yes. Giving support. And then your fingers pull in and your thumb closes up into this gap. And strength. This is supposed to represent a sailor's knot. Here it is again, giving support. And then Taylor, your fingers come in like they're just grabbing each other and you tip it up and then your right thumb comes up into that spot. You got it. And strength. Beautiful. Hold on. Did we do this? This comes first. Here's your fish, sorry. Fish, but it gives us a chance to do that again. And then support, foundation, sailor's knot, strength, beautiful. And then I shut out the noise of the world, palms turn backwards, so I may hear thine voice. Right hand is up in a fist, you protect me and dispel my fears. Left hand comes down, right hand flutters down, flips over, and first and thumb touch. And then we meditate for 16 days. Okay, let's do those one more time, and then we'll start working on the closing ones.
Is there a way to switch the screen so that your
Yeah,
right hand is my right hand? Because I'm getting like really confused.
you know what? I don't think there is.
Okay, because I thought there was that whole mirror.
I know I turned my mirroring off. So when I'm trying to, that's how come sometimes like when I want to show you the bunny, I move the wrong way, is because I turned my mirroring off on my computer, but it didn't, it doesn't fix it for you. Go ahead, Isaac.
Moira, if you have a mirror, you can place your tablet or computer screen or watch the video through a mirror, and that will correct the problem for you.
Oh, okay.
So instead of looking directly at the screen, get a mirror and watch it through the mirror. And
So
then
this is what we need to do home yoga. We need 2 round yoga wheels. We need 2 blocks. We need a half block. We need about 16 blankets. We need a pillow. We need 1 person extra to assist us. And now we need a mirror.
Right.
Oh, and a yoga strap or 2 yoga straps, and finger massagers and earplugs. And I don't know why clothes, but apparently clothes. Okay, so here's the beginning. Dwelling in the self, I am a seed. Pulled toward the world, expanding, I separate from thee and experience the various aspects of life. Now I withdraw my mind from the flow of the world so that you will flow through me, revealing the realities of birth and death. You got it, you got it, you got it, you got it. And the bondage of Maya. Left hand on top. I empty myself to be filled by thee. I relinquish the world and take refuge in thee. You guide the way. Isn't it funny that a fish is the guide? Giving support. It's so also, Maura, just so you know, I think everyone else here has done these before, and that helps tremendously. This is my left hand, and this is my right hand. My right pinky goes to the tip of my water pistol. My right first finger goes to my left thumb. The knuckles sit down on each other, and then my right thumb touches my left wrist. Giving support. And then you pull in like this, tip it up, and your thumb closes that gap. Yes, and strength. I shut out the noise of the world so I may hear thine voice. You protect me and dispel my fears, and illusion falls away. That's so nice. Okay, 16 hours have passed. So this next piece, we're just going to go over it, and it doesn't matter at all. Nothing that I talk about or do actually matters. So always remember that. This is what the closing part, so you meditated for 16 hours, and then this is what the first piece looks like. It's either called Indra's net or it's called the face of a cow. And this is how it is. It's pinky to ring, ring to pinky. Look, I had my hands too low. It's ring to pinky, pinky to ring. And I have my knuckles locked straight, and there's pressure so that when I twist, they kind of cross. and then it's first to middle, middle to first. And I touch the tips of my fingers and they keep my knuckles straight, and there's pressure and it makes them cross. Amy said something, but here, Isaac, Isaac, give your suggestion, and Amy, tell us what you said.
No, I was just going to ask, when you cross, are your index and your ring both going in the same direction under the other two? Do you know what I mean? I just had it, but you know what I mean? Like the pinky and the middle finger are the ones on top on one hand, so that they're parallel. Or does your pinky finger go over? I'm talking just about the right hand. Do you know what I mean? Or are they opposite?
They're the same. They're the same.
Okay, okay.
I didn't know what you meant until you just said that.
Yeah. Okay.
And also your thumbs touch. Nice, Claire. Yeah, Maura, you're getting it. Taylor, you're
Tricky.
getting it.
So much going on.
So do you guys know what Indra's net is? When we were talking about the koshas and how there's this part of the universe where everything is divine, and then a drip drops out of there, and it's called the karmic. So we have the divine pool of energy, and then a little drip is like, I think I'm gonna go on an adventure. That would be me or you or any of us. I think I'm going to go on an adventure. And this little raindrop of divine energy separates from the divine big ocean. And this little raindrop is instantly in another atmosphere that has divine energy, and it has one other thing. And that atmosphere has relationship, because before everything was unified. So then the second kosha that we pick up on our descent to earth is called a karmic kosha. And the karma is just meaning you're in relationship to everything else. So Indra's web is another story about that karmic kosha, that karmic atmosphere, that karmic loka. And this represents Indra's web. So everything in Indra's web means that it is all connected. Every single thing that individually exists is somehow connected and influences every single other thing that exists. And that is what this is. So if you think it's a lot to do with your fingertips, it's actually everything.
Kathy, can you do that closer to the screen? Because every time I get to the third part, it falls apart.
Okay. Ring to pinky, pinky to ring. And then first to middle, middle to first. And then I keep my knuckles straight and I just spin it until my palms are parallel to each other.
My middle finger is so long.
Yeah, that's the trouble I'm having, Kathy, is I can't match my fingers up to keep my fingers straight.
You can make, I know, you can make your middle finger seem less long by adjusting at the base knuckle.
And then
Oh, I got it. Oh, sorry.
Nice, Sarah. No, I'm super psyched you got it. Don't
do you
be.
bring the pinky under to match, to meet up? See, that's where I'm like, so I have ring and pinky, correct?
Yep.
And then I need to bring this pinky up to meet this ring, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, see, I don't, like,
Here,
see
you can start with your first and middle. First and middle, first and middle, and then twist it so that they come parallel to each other.
so this first and middle, no.
So another thing that happens is, I just got these out. I'm trying to get these other ones out of the way. Another thing that happens is, do you see how good this looks right now? because this is how I do it. Now watch me try to switch sides.
Maybe I'm doing it on the wrong side.
No, it's just I'm saying, like, I can turn myself into
No,
the-
I get it now. Yes.
Yeah.
And what I do with the thumbs?
And then the thumbs are touching.
Yep.
And then eventually it's all four and thumbs touching.
I just had
It
it.
helped me to start like this because then I can see that one goes there and that
Ooh.
one goes there.
Oh.
Do
That
that again.
looks like an insect or something.
Isaac, do that again.
Do it again.
I started index to middle. My right hand is on top, and I went switch those two, and then switch those two. Does that help?
Yes, sort of, but
It helps my finger not be too short that way.
the pinky, the right pinky is going to come up over the ring finger.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yes.
Then, all right, pinky comes over the ring and meets that, and then
And then the index goes under.
Carolyn, you're there. You're there.
under. But the,
You're there.
all right.
I think
Gonna
you're
get it.
there. Yeah.
It just
don't
because
have
I
you
was
on
looking in
the
the screen, I could see it better in the screen like that.
Okay. And then,
My fingers don't have that kind of dexterity that yours do.
Well, the tricky thing would be to try it with the other hand on top.
Oh, it's hellacious. Okay, and then your
Yeah, it's hard.
your forearms kind of drop parallel to each other. Nice. Okay, so this is called Indra's net, or you'll also see this hand mudra as a cow's head. So this is bound within space and time. And I know you just got here, so I hate to do this to you, and I'm sorry. You go like this. This is my left hand, and this is my right hand. And then just practice, correct. Your left hand is going to go up and to your left knee. Your left hand is going to go up and to your left knee. Your left hand is going to go up and to your left knee. Your left hand is going to go up and leave it on your left knee. Now we're going to practice the right hand. The right hand is going to go all the way down, brush past your thigh, and come to here. Yes. So it starts here, and it makes a circle, and it comes to here. Beautiful. So it starts here, and it makes a circle, and it comes to here. We're going to do it one more time. It starts here, it makes a circle, it comes to here, and then it goes down into a meditation posture. So you don't have to do this first piece, but if you want to, you can. Here's your first piece. The first set of hand mudras to get into meditation are a little bit simpler, and they seem to have longer words. These are a little bit tougher to do, and their words are shorter. Bound within space and time. Left hand is on top. And now we're going to do both of those moves at the same time. Your left hand is going to go to your left knee. Your right hand is going to come to the middle and then go down. Yeah. By your grace, knowledge dawns. Here it is. Let's do that part again. Your left hand is on top, and it's going to do a half circle. And your right hand is on the bottom. It's going to do a whole circle. And then a half. Beautiful. You totally got it. Here it is. Left hand is on top. And then around and down. That's amazing. That's amazing. Do you want to do it one more time? Left hand is on top. Half circle with the left, full circle, and then down with the right. Yes. 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 Isn't that yummy?
Feels so good.
Yeah, I think that so anytime we do mantra or yantra or asana or drishti or pranayama, we're just making an energetic pattern. So these mudras are energetic patterns and they're beautiful. Anytime we make a new energetic pattern, which is how come I wanted to get every possible asana I ever could when I could, every time we make a new energetic pattern, it creates new energetic patterns for the universe that we're throwing off, and it also creates new connections in our brain because we haven't done that before. That's so cool. Neuroplasticity. It's supposed to help with neuroplasticity. So anyway, we'll just take those two as the new ones because they're both very complicated for the mind. So one more time, here is Indra's web or Gomukh. Good. Found within space and time, left hand on top, by your grace, knowledge dawns, and dispassion is attained. Yes! Ta-da! I'm feeling really accomplished right now.
I feel like I just connected with the most ancient yogis there ever were.
Yes! That reminds me about those ancient yogis. I love them. I'm happy that I got to be part of that. I love you, Isaac. And also, they are all dead. And if they're not dead, they're being very clever and they're hiding in caves and pretty much not hanging out with us on Zoom. So part of why I love vinyasa, and I love like when I say create a posture in shoulder stand or try a new, like make something up. Please make something up. One, we're alive. All the people who made up all this stuff and handed it down to us, they did it when they were alive. They aren't alive anymore. I love everything they've given to us. And we are here to be alive, and we can make stuff up because we're alive. And a lot of times when we're making stuff up, it kind of feels like divine inspiration. It doesn't really feel like, oh, I'm making this up. It just feels like, oh, this is natural. Anyway, speaking of the ancient yogis, we are now the yogis, and the ancient is mostly dead. So until I join those ranks, I'm going to keep making stuff up and goofing off and learning as much of their things as I can. All right. Does anyone have anything to share or say?
I was just wondering if
Go ahead.
was the leader because of Matsuyandrai. I didn't say it right.
Yeah, you did. You did say it right. And I would assume that that is exactly why. Yeah. But I don't know for sure. Yeah. Good putting that together. It's fun when you start to know enough of the backstories that you can start to put more and more together. Like when we do Gomukhasana and we're like, look, in the video, it looks like my hands are together. We're like this and we're all tangled up. It's a little bit similar to this and being a little bit tangled up. Mm-hmm. It's kind of making the same image. Yeah. Anyone else want to say anything or share anything?
I hadn't realized that I had trained this in my brain until you mentioned that your fingers were doing something this way. And I I'll have to find it and maybe share it with you as far as like curiosity and brain plasticity goes. There's an exercise for flutists on YouTube where you do symmetrical touching, and then you try to do, you know what I mean? Like the ones, the twos, the threes, and then you try to reverse it. It's a really excellent exercise for micro dexterity.
Yeah, find that.
This stuff.
Did you see the look on my face? I was like,
it does things to the body when you try to sort it out.
Yeah.
And then try it in different arrangements around it's great fun.
There's this cool Feldenkrais thing, which I'm not really gonna do. I'm just gonna show you. You lie down flat and you get all relaxed and it takes forever. And then your eyes are closed, and mine are not. With your eyes closed, you come up and you take your first fingers and try to touch them together. And then you put your arms down and you relax, and then you do your middle, and then your ring, and then your pinky, and then your thumbs. And it's amazing how far off I can miss on that. I haven't done it in a long time.
It's a good exercise.
Yeah, that's another thing to do. We should just have a big list of things you can do while you're still trying to not go out in public. All right. So I love you and I appreciate you, and thank you for supporting each other. Tomorrow we will do Ashtanga, and then Thursday we will do some more Vinyasa. And tomorrow we'll do Ashtanga, and we will do the pranayama that is in Janushirasana. Cool. And then we'll work a little bit more on the hand mudras, and we'll chat. Good. All right, I love you. Have a great afternoon. Thank you for coming. Namaste.
Love you. Bye.
Love
Thank
you.
you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.